Join Gator great Shane Matthews every weekday as he brings you all you need to know about your Florida Gators, including news, analysis, and opinions with some of the biggest names in sports. Find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or wherever you listen to your favorite podcast. Or watch us live at 8 a.m. on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter.
Good morning. Live edition. Hope you had a great weekend. It is PodUp with Matthews in the morning from the Crime Prevention Security System Studios, large enough to serve you, small enough to care. Got a lot to talk about today. We got JC, then we'll have Connor Nicholson, who is the captain of the UF hockey team the last couple of years. Just get their thoughts. They're the defending national champs, so their season's getting ready to crank up. And we'll get some thoughts there. JC, you're on the Titan More hotline, courtesy of Comfort Temp. By the way, JC.
Okay.
On the Peachland Dental golf pick, somebody picked Aaron Rye to win the tournament. I don't know who that was. Somebody did.
I think we've been saying for a couple months, QB, that if you want to win in golf, you better you better turn the show on. You picked a couple more winners than I have this year, but we've both picked some winners. And I mean, it's just been one of those years where I think a lot of the favorites have won, but then we get into these tournaments where we get some guys like Aaron Rye, who you took, and he wins. So I feel bad for that Grazeman Spur guy or whatever.
Grazerman. He's a 29-year-old rookie from Duke.
Well, he's had two tournaments where he could have won, or at least he was challenging to win. And maybe, yesterday was his better chance. He finished, I think, second at the 3M Open. But he's playing very well. He's making a lot of money. He's getting his status secured, I think, and he's doing very well. You know what else I watched, QB, this weekend? As I looked at, believe it or not, I actually watched some preseason football. And I can't believe I actually did that. But what I noticed was, we had a question last week about rookie quarterbacks in the league. And a couple of rookies, I now get it, it's just preseason, but they got some time out on the field, and they really impressed folks. Notably, I'd say J.J. McCarthy at Minnesota with a couple of touchdown passes and 188 yards, and Justin Jefferson running up and down the sideline, cheering him on. Very happy to see that. And then we had Bo Nix, your guy. Bo Nix had a touchdown pass for Sean Payton, 125 yards, and was 15 of 21 in the Denver game. And Zach Wilson was 10 of 13. So they've got two guys that it looks like Sean Payton's really starting to reach. Now, I get it, it's just preseason, but these guys are on the field and they're playing. Jaden Daniels had a very nice pass down the field of about 42 yards. He was only 2 of 3, but they were happy with what he did. Had a little rushing touchdown there. And then, of course, Caleb Williams for Chicago in that game with Buffalo in the preseason. Ran around all over the field, did what he does, and he looked very comfortable directing the Bears. That was good to see. Saw Kyle Trask, former Gator, had 144 yards through an interception, but still had 144 yards at 12 of 20. And then we had a couple guys that we keep up with. Stetson Bennett for the Rams. He played a lot. He played quite just about the entire game and was 24-38 with 224 yards and 1 touchdown, but had 4 interceptions. So him and Sean Payton are going to have to work, or not Sean Payton, but Sean McVay are going to have to work that out. And then finally, Trevor Lawrence.
He's not going to play, so it doesn't matter.
No, I know he's not, but it's good to have him out there running around because Matthew Stafford is prone to injury, as we know. And then, although he plays through a lot of injuries in his career, and then of course Trevor Lawrence, Jacksonville, had a nice little 3 or 4 day, 42 yards, 1 touchdown. But Mac Jones and Cody Beathard are working out for the backup job in Jacksonville.
It'll be Mac Jones. They didn't trade for him to be the third guy.
I agree with that. So I think, we had a good little weekend of preseason football. And then some unfortunate news, QB, on the practice field. I think we see our first significant injury with Florida and on the defensive front, which, that's concerning because that's an area of concern for you and I and most Gator fans, where the depth is going to be needed on the front seven. And Jamari Lyons looks like we'll find out more today, but it doesn't look good for him.
He's done.
And that's a shame. That's really a shame. Yeah. 6'4", 308. That's the kind of body you want up there, man. But,
yeah, I mean, they're pretty deep there. You hate to see somebody go down. But that's football. Here's a text on the Titan More text on Kevin. A $3 bet paid me $93 on the golf tournament.
All right, Kevin, checking in, baby. We're paying people here. Oh, good job, man. Great job. Great job.
Yeah, we can talk scrimmage. We can talk golf.
Great.
We can talk. I want to go back to your
Okay.
Tommy says here on YouTube, brought to you by Quality Plum, Steph Curry's performance was my favorite basketball moment in a long time. Yeah, it was pretty. I didn't see it live. I saw the highlights, so it was pretty cool. I got to go back to so I get home from playing golf,
Yep.
and it was a little late, but I turn on the TV. The Jags are playing, right?
Yeah.
They were on the local ABC. They're playing the Chiefs.
Uh-huh.
Every commercial break, JC, and I had people texting me about this too, and they didn't understand it either. And one of the people lives in Jacksonville. He's a diehard Gator, talks on this show a lot or comments, but every commercial break, this Jacksonville Jaguar football brought to you by the University of Florida. Okay, not UF Health, not UF Health.
Okay.
So I looked into it. I even text Frank Frangie. He had no idea what was going on either.
I read it about.
We have some collaboration with them where we are paying them, but we're not getting anything out of it. That's what I don't understand. When you do a marketing deal, it's got to benefit both people. We're not the University of Phoenix, JC.
Yeah.
And that's all they talked about was the University of Florida with #1 public school in America, or whatever their little saying was. I do not understand it. I don't know why we're wasting money, spending money on Jaguar football. Just makes no sense to me. This has nothing to do with the Jaguars coming to play, possibly with the Gators, because as we had Mark Long on, and I agree 1,000% with what he said, they have to renovate the stadium, especially the locker rooms, for the Jaguars to even show up here because they're not NFL specs. That's why they're going to play in Orlando. So I have no idea why we are spending money on this advertising. No idea. See, John says it's a joint venture between you. It's not a joint venture when one entity is doing the paying. That's not a joint entity.
Well, free publicity. Not free publicity, but publicity of any kind on their football games might be somewhat being paid. But I get what you're saying. I don't know. I don't know the deal.
It makes no sense to me. I feel like we're wasting money on that.
Do you? Well, listen. I think the only money,
like I said, are we trying to get more students? Are we going to build a satellite campus in Jackson? I don't know what we're doing.
We I don't know. The University of Florida should have a very huge footprint in Jacksonville.
Okay, so Daniel says it might be the satellite campus that's opening downtown Jacksonville. So there you go. Maybe that's what it is. But again, we're not the University of Phoenix.
Well, it's the footprint in Jacksonville is important for this school, and I don't know. Maybe it's just another way.
I don't know. I think it's ridiculous.
Well, and look, you're not writing the check. Nobody cares about that.
I know I'm not, but private donors are writing the check. And if I'm a private donor, I'm going, why are we doing this?
Well, if you're a private donor, what you should be asked is, how about contributing to this NIL collective?
Yeah, exactly. And it's probably the same people.
That's where I'd rather see the money.
Anyway, I had to get. That just bothered me. And I had people texting me during that game going, why are we advertising? And so I text some people in the Jacksonville area going, what is going on? They're like, we don't understand it either. So anyway, John says we are building a grad program in Jacksonville. Okay, that's fine. I mean, it's the University of Florida. We do not I go back to the University of Phoenix is like an online, promote your school online, whatever. All right, enough of that. All right, so JC, people are talking about the scrimmage here. I watched some of it. I didn't watch all of it because it gets long. It's too much. It's too much situational stuff because you don't know. It's never like the ones versus the ones. It'd be like half of the starters on offense with a bunch of walk-ons against some walk-ons and some starters on. So it's hard to do anything. I thought there was some good and some bad on everything, like it is in any scrimmage.
Yeah. August 11th.
DJ got a lot of work, had some good moments, had some really bad moments, but that's expected. You're not going to know anything until you play somebody else.
Yeah, and that's what they do in the NFL. Is these teams do joint scrimmages with each other, hit the other team kind of thing. I don't know, QB. I mean, it's just part of practice, just part of our August. You just want to hope and pray that the injuries are at a minimum. And that's the big thing for me. So I don't look. He knows they've got 2 weeks of really good preparation time coming, and then I guess 3 weeks. What's today? The 12th, so 31st. So basically 3 weeks or 2.5 weeks to get themselves ready in every aspect against Miami and look better than they did last year against Utah when they didn't look prepared at all. So I expect a very well prepared team on August 31st. They better be.
We got a text here on the Titan More text line. Remember, UF Health has hospitals in Jackson planning to grow to compete with other hospitals. This has nothing to do with health. This is not UF Health, though. That's my point. It was the University of Florida.
I thought it was. That's why.
But I'm just telling you what I saw during the entire football game at every commercial break. It was not the UF Health logo. They have their own logo. It was the UF, and then it said University of Florida in script next to it, the school logo.
You're very concerned about
this. Wes, well, because I don't think it's good marketing. I really don't. I'm a marketing major. Never had to use it. Don't know how I even graduated. But
you do market. I mean, you market. What you marketing right now? Ally Sports. I mean,
yeah. All right. So Wes says on Facebook Live, brought to you by Shane, is the strength and conditioning is good? Has Dez lost any weight? I don't know if the strength and conditioning is any good. No, he's big. Like I said, I love Des Watson. I don't know him. I just like his personality. If he's playing, we're in trouble. He's a liability.
Yeah, 6'5", 430. Wow.
Yeah, it's a liability. So anyway, let me get a couple of these texts here. I got another text here about it's UFL. It was not UFL people.
Well,
go watch the replay. Go watch the replay of the game. I think doesn't NFL Network have replays of all the preseason games? You will see it every commercial break. You'll see what I'm talking about. Josh in Mississippi says, I was driving by a golf course yesterday and saw a guy with a remote control wheeled golf bag carrier. Pretty cool. Seemed like something JC would have. Would you use that too? I absolutely would not.
No.
If I walk, I would carry my bag. I don't walk though. I just drive in a regular golf cart. There's a lot of people that use those that like to walk, and they can go over here and remote control and send the golf bag to the next tee box.
I'm about to walk 5.
Usually those people slow the golf course down. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, no, they do, and they shouldn't. They tear up You don't need these mini cars on the golf carts. Honest to God. I saw one guy with a golf cart this weekend that had 3 rows of seats. I said, where the hell do the golf clubs go? I mean, it's not a golf cart. These are not golf carts. These are things that drive around that pretend to be, golf carts, but they're not. But I've got a lot of walking coming up in a week, QB. You're only going to probably see me one time next week if I can even get online because I'm going to be far, far away. But I don't have to carry my clubs. So if I don't have to carry my clubs, I'll be okay, I think, walking. But I've got knee issues.
Well, you got to get a knee repair. Call Dr. Pete. He's retired, though. All right, Gator guy on the Titan of our text line says, Lyons is a big loss. I know you would say we have lots of depth there, but he had a special skill set as our best interior pass rusher in limited action. He clearly showed he could disrupt things. So this is a pretty big loss. And I know we have depth, but special skill set. I mean, anytime you lose somebody's hurt. In the backfield, I know we have Jacoby Jackson.
We got Caleb
Banks. Third or fourth, but I would not be shocked at all to see him split time with Webb with some size. And I know you have some insiders, and they will tell you the kid has looked very good, possibly better than except for Johnson. Annie Jean Hurd, I feel like you and JC, that he has a ton of potential. Hopefully, at some point he can get. I don't know why he's always hurt. I think if Montrell does not play against Miami, which I still think he's going to, I think Trayon Webb will be your starting running back. And then you will see Katie Daniels, Jaden Ball, and Jacoby Jack. You'll see them all get different. Katie Daniels made some plays the other day. I like him a lot.
Yeah, I like him. Well, you know who my favorite guy is on offense. And, other than the quarterback, I like Trey Wilson. I liked him after that Utah
That's pretty obvious, JC.
But Greg you didn't know who he was after that Utah game until we found out.
I told y'all if you listen to this show, which you were on it about every freaking day in August, that Trey Wilson was the real deal. Before he even took a snap. Greg says, QB, there is nothing you can do about it, so why worry? I'm not worried. I just don't understand it, Greg. I don't understand it.
Greg, throwing it back to the QB there.
Oh, no, he has every right to, but I don't understand it at all. JC, it'd be just like Cornerstone Financial Group
I don't do
throwing
anything
money.
if I don't get paid. I won't do a damn thing if it's not
Right, but no, but if you paid something, you're going to want something in return, correct? Okay,
maybe they feel like the mention. Maybe they feel like those mentions on the broadcast is
going to make somebody sign up to go to school.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. It's just hell if I know.
I don't know. I don't understand.
Maybe they'll have University of Florida stuff all over the stadium during the football games on Sunday. Not that that's a big deal either. I mean, most people are looking at the scoreboard or looking. Listen, I noticed another thing about the Jaguars. Every single game's at 1:00 on the home schedule. I didn't check that out when I bought these tickets.
Well, most JC, just so you know this, I thought you've been watching the National Football League for a long time.
Yes.
Most of the schools. Most of the National Football League teams, they're on the East Coast, play at 1:00.
1:00. They're at 1:00.
Okay.
Yeah. But
you should know that.
Maybe I would like. Well, no, I do. I was just hoping for maybe a Sunday night, Thursday night, or Monday night game. We didn't used to have Sunday nights and Thursday nights. Now we do. And Monday night football, of course, has always been there. But you have to kind of earn that to get on Monday night football by being a decent team that attracts people to the screen. Thursday night, it seems to be just the opposite. And then on Sunday night, I don't know, Carrie Underwood and Al Michaels, although I don't think Al's on it anymore. But Sunday night's pretty good, too. So I was just hoping maybe Jackson. But listen, you got to make the playoffs. If you make playoffs, then the following year you usually get one of those slots, those national slots. So
we got a text here on the Titan Tomorrow text line from Jimmy. He says, "What did you guys think of the Olympic closing ceremonies?"
After about 10 minutes, I couldn't watch anymore, and I turned on it's just artsy-fartsy stuff that if you like that kind of thing, you're into it. But I found it boring, and I turned on the New York Mets getting blown out by the Seattle Mariners, who may have had some of the ugliest uniforms I've ever seen in my life with the black pants. But I did think it was cool when a Mariner hit a home run. He was running up and down the dugout with this big Neptune's fork, pitchfork thing. I thought that was creative. Yeah.
I didn't even see it until I was on a text feed, people bashing it. So, because I was watching the end of the golf tournament, which was phenomenal. I've never seen it. I don't know if I've seen so much. We're going to get to that in just a second.
Yeah.
But so I clicked from the golf CBS. They actually went prime time because of the tournament. Switched over to the Olympics, and there was this character that looked like a cockroach dressed up in this gold outfit with all these people white. It was the weirdest thing I've ever seen.
Well, they did show Tom Cruise jump off the roof on some wire, and he comes flying in. He's kind of one of those guys that can do those kinds of things. I don't even like to go up a ladder, and this guy's falling off the roof of the stadium, Tom Cruise. But that was at the end. But, dude, it just bores me. That kind of entertainment is not – my personality and my brain does not go, oh, I have to see that. Some people love it. They love the creativity or whatever the message is and all of this kind of thing. Now, 2028, the Olympics go to Los Angeles. Having been in Los Angeles less than a year ago, bro, if they don't do something with the infrastructure and the traffic, that will be one place on earth that I would highly recommend don't go anywhere near when the Olympics hit, because you won't be able to get anywhere. But that's just me. That's LA. They got 4 years to do something about it. But those highways, they can't. That's crazy to me. What's going to happen in 2028?
Dan says Jack Caglione hit a grand slam in the minors. Yeah, I saw that yesterday.
And by the way, baseball, dude, I know you don't give two flips about it, but the National League West Division has 4 teams that conceivably could make the playoffs. Division winner and 3 wild cards. Because the Giants, Padres, and Diamondbacks, who are unbelievable, the Diamondbacks, they just punt it, just burying the Phillies. Arizona is a really good team, and so is San Diego. I think the National League provides us a little bit more, some better teams. The American League's kind of spread out with who's going to make it and who's not. But it's more consistent, I think, in the National League right now.
Yeah, Graham has a question here I wanted to get to. I'm going to go back to the golf tournament. So the Grazerman kid, Eagles, I think it was hole 12, to take a 4-shot lead. He goes to the next hole, makes a quadruple bogey. So now he's tied with Aaron Ray. Terrible. He goes to the next hole. He makes birdie to take the lead. Then he 4 putts to fall behind. Darkness is creeping in. So they had to play like 38 holes yesterday because of the weather.
Yeah.
So they're on hole 18, a par 4, second shot. They're trying to hurry. Aaron Rise won the golf tournament.
This is great.
And Matt Kuchar says he's not going to finish. So Matt Kuchar, everybody finishes in the golf tournament. Matt Kuchar is out there right now hitting his approach shot, and he's probably going to two putt. And he was getting 12th. He was in like 12th or 14th place.
What if you were the caddy and you had to get out?
The caddy had to stay, spend another, pay to spend another night in a hotel. Think about all the volunteers, all the people that work for the PGA Tour. I don't know what Kuchar was thinking.
Security.
Just you're out of it. Just
it's
hit the
crazy.
ball.
I agree. It makes no sense.
Nuts.
QB, this is the day that makes no sense to you. We have Gators spending money in Jacksonville and Matt Kuchar not finishing golf tournaments. None of this makes sense, QB. We got none of it. It's a nonsensical day today.
Yes, it very is.
Did you watch any of those quarterbacks I talked about over the weekend in these games?
I flipped around. I mean, look, here's the thing. I played a long time. I know how NFL preseason games work.
Yeah.
Okay. It is the most vanilla defense. It's the defenses they play in preseason games are like what you see on Friday nights at high school games.
Mm-hmm.
It's just so vanilla.
Well, another story out of Texas was A&M losing a running back.
So A&M's lost their starting running back, as did the Texas Longhorns for the year.
That's a shame, man. That's too bad. I think Reuben Owens, I don't know if he was their starter, but he was going to play a lot. And I think he was behind this guy named Le'Veon Moss. But Moss is still healthy. But Reuben Owens, who's a sophomore, is gone. And then, of course, the Florida scrimmage. What is the next Florida – like when – so these scrimmages are open, right, QB? I mean, everybody could go watch some of it. Is that right?
Where? The Gator scrimmage?
Yeah. They weren't –
No. There are no scrimmages in college football that are open to the public.
Open, but
not even to the media people. Media people can't go watch.
How did you get in there?
JC, I'm a former player and I work on the Gator Radio Network.
Okay. Well, yeah. Okay. All right. That makes sense.
What a dumb question.
Well, I mean, come on, bro. You're not employed by the school. You're employed by the athletic association or whatever.
Well, even if I wasn't doing the radio, I can walk in there as a former player and watch the scrimmage.
Okay. Well, former players are allowed that.
All right. So I saw this. I thought this was interesting. The average age. Who do you think has I got the average age of all NFL teams here. Who do you think is the oldest team in the National Football League?
I mean, I wouldn't even know where to start to guess, but I'm going to say somebody like Buffalo. I don't know.
Be the 49ers at 27 years old.
Okay.
Who do you think the youngest
Houston
average age team is?
Houston Texans?
No, they're actually the second oldest.
Oh, wow, I missed that. Well, the youngest team, Carolina?
That'd be your Green Bay Packers at 25 years old.
Bro, that NFC North is going to be an absolute bloodbath. It's going to be probably the most competitive division, in my opinion. Yeah.
Yeah. Don't forget tonight, if you're in town, I think there's a couple of tickets still available. Heck, they may let you in. The Spurrier's 3-year anniversary. Big shindig is tonight at Spurrier's Gridiron Grill. There'll be a bunch of famous people like JC there.
Do I have to QB, I think also the Ronald McDonald House is co-sponsoring this, and I have a very close friend who is a big franchise owner for Ronald McDonald's, for McDonald's. And we're going to have a nice evening. And, I've got to say that I haven't spent as much time at that restaurant as I probably would have liked, but I'm really curious to see it again and get in there and see. Yeah, I'm also looking forward to seeing some of these media guys that I remember from yesteryear, like Mike Bianchi, Chris Harry.
Well, I don't know if Bianchi will be there. I mean, he has to drive up from Orlando. He might be there. I'm sure he's invited.
Maybe. What is Frank coming? Franchi? Maybe.
I doubt. I mean, I don't think a lot of out of town people will be here.
Yeah. Well, Pat will be there. Big Red will be there, I guess, and of course you. And it'll be a fun night to hobnob. Chris will be there. It'll be fun. I think.
Silverback Concrete builds firm foundations for generations. You stand on it. We stand by it. Van Der says, can you hook me up? Maybe you and I can sit together at the next scrimmage. I can't take guests, so that's the problem. Can't take guests.
All right, you're telling me that all scrimmages in college football are always closed? I don't think that's
all practices are, JC.
Well, at Florida, but that's
no.
Everywhere.
There's not one school in America that lets media and the general public come watch.
Man,
now there may be one day
used to have people all over the practice.
The times have changed, JC.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm glad it really helps everybody not to have the fans there.
Mike says on Facebook Live, brought to you by Mel Law, if you watched the closing ceremony after you knew what the opening ceremony was, you probably watched The View.
That's the quote of the show right now.
That is.
Yeah, no, it's different. It's a different kind of entertainment. My brain doesn't coalesce around it, but many do, and so have at it. But the Olympics were good. I think the viewership was up, and I think I saw some guys here at the club cheering on the basketball team like they were watching the Final Four. I didn't quite get that, but they beat up on France. Okay. And then, you saw the NBA guys just have a gold medal opportunity. So that got some people excited. The viewership was high. And I think that the games, for the most part, we tied China with the most gold medals. And I think that's the first time two countries have tied with the exact number of gold medals. The overall medal count, of course, I think the USA won that, but tying China for the most gold medals.
What's amazing to me is how China is so dominant in freaking diving. It's unbelievable.
You've got a big pool to choose from there with all those people in China.
Well, we got a lot of people too, but it's amazing how they win the gold medal in every freaking event
in
diving every year. It's crazy.
Yeah.
All right. Here, this day in sports brought to you by Campus USA Credit Union. Put some star power to work in your financial life. Campus USA Credit Union. 1978 NFL New England Patriots wide receiver Darryl Stingley suffers a spinal cord injury, leaving him quadriplegic from a hit by Jack Tatum in a preseason exhibition game.
Yep, the Black Assassin. That. Yeah, the Oakland Raiders. He was a headhunter. He would never be. I mean, he would have so many personal fouls in today's game. He wouldn't be able to get on the field. He wouldn't be able to play. They played a different game back then, QB, as you know, and it certainly was more dangerous. Now it's dangerous but safer, I guess. QB, they're in the Olympics in 4 years. Just to bring this up real quick, they're going to have baseball and softball. They're going to have new sports. They're going to have flag football.
That'd be interesting. It's better than breakdancing. I saw this. It was on Twitter. This Australian chick represented Australia in breakdancing, but she didn't even know how to breakdance. No, seriously. It would be like me and you going over there. They just sent her over there. It was the dumbest thing. Breakdancing was the dumbest thing I've ever seen. These people need to, I don't know what's going on.
You're going to have cricket. You're going to have cricket next.
Cricket is awesome.
Cricket will be played. That's a very popular sport, of course, in India and Pakistan and in some European countries and in Africa. But flag football, cricket, you're going to have some beachy stuff going on. It's going to be more sports. Baseball and softball, those coming back, and I'm down.
And you got to go to Oklahoma City if you want to watch softball.
Meanwhile, you got University of California at Los Angeles sitting right there. Now, they don't have a softball facility that's notable, but
their softball facility is like Diamond Sports Park.
It looks like something out here on Parker Road, and yet they're supposed to be this great power dynasty of all time. It made no sense. But anyway, you could have softball on that campus if they really wanted it. And same with USC. They could have it there too.
All right. And Dan wanted you to know that open practices stopped after the head ball coach left the University of Florida.
Well, I'm sorry I didn't know that because I've never.
It's only been 23 years, JC.
Well, I do remember Pete Carroll basically having the entire Beverly Hills watching his football practice. And that was not, well, maybe that was 30 years ago. Okay.
Yeah. You're old, my friend. All right, JC, have a good workout. We're going to talk UF hockey.
That sounds great. I'm going to tune in later and watch that. I'm very excited about Gator hockey, and you should be too. It's a great sport.
Well, I'm going to find out where we can get you a UF hockey sweater.
Yeah, I want a hat, and I want a visor, and I want to know where they play and where they play. So ask some smart questions, QB, and I'll tune in later and watch it on the replay.
All right, that's JC. Join us on the Titan No More Hotline. We'll take a quick timeout. We'll come back. We'll be joined by Connor Nicholson from UF Hockey Club. I know people may not want to talk about it. I think it's very interesting. They're your defending national champs, people. You're watching and listening to PodUp with Matthews in the Morning from the Crime Prevention Security System Studios. We'll be right back. We want to take this moment to thank our sponsors who keep the show going and pay the bills.
Our premium sponsors are Crime Prevention Security Systems, Titan MRI, Meldon Law, Peachland Dental, QC Kinetics, Campus USA Credit Union, Dave & Buster's. Gridiron sponsors, Comfort Temp, UF Bookstores, Quality Plumbing, Silverback Concrete, Ruse Ogra State Farm, Tropical Smoothie Cafe, F45. Our touchdown sponsors, Gator Dominoes, Celebrate Primary Care, Gator Bait Media, Aikido America, Style Cuts, Ironwood Golf Course, Big Mills Cheesesteaks, McDonald's of Gainesville, 84 Lumber, Dowling Signs, Baker's Sporting Goods, MG&A Wealth, Nest and Wild.
If you're interested in promoting your business on the show, call Freddie at 352-284-3733. If you like what we're doing here, make sure to follow us and support the businesses that support us.
Come celebrate Spurrier's Gridiron Grill 3rd anniversary on August 12th.
Ronald McDonald House is so excited to partner with Spurrier's again this year.
To get your tickets, go to www.spurriers.com.
Jerry, may I have one of your famous cookies now?
Only if he doesn't take them first.
Oh, thank you.
Welcome back to the Crime Prevention Security System Studios, large enough to serve you, small enough to care. Ruse Ogra State Farm offers a team of dedicated insurance professionals ready to help life go right with the right insurance options for you and your family. Visit ogre-insurance.com. Give them a call at 352-240-1779. We're going to go back to the Titan No More Hotline, courtesy of Comfort Temp. We are joined by Connor Nicholson from UF Hockey Club. Well, I guess he used to play for them. He was your two-time captain in the national championship team. Connor, good morning. How you doing? Appreciate you joining the program.
Good morning. Thank you for having me on, Shane. I appreciate it.
All right. First of all, there's a lot of people that will watch this program that didn't even know that UF has a hockey team. It's a hockey club. It's part of the club deal where y'all play other universities. But first of all, tell us where y'all play your games and some of the other schools that y'all play.
Yeah, so we are a club team, which means we're not affiliated with the NCAA athletics. We play under the AAU, and our home rink is based out of Jacksonville. And so that's unfortunately the closest rink we got. So we'll travel out there and play our home games, and then a lot of the games we'll play on the road against. Our opponents are pretty similar to what you think of for football opponents. We try to schedule a lot of those rivalry matchups. So every year we'll be going at it against University of Georgia, University of Tennessee, South Carolina, schools like that. So there is a division with all the SEC teams in it, and we like to play those teams a lot, especially with how deep the rivalry runs within University of Florida. So it's all similar opponents.
Yeah, and let everybody know too. Okay, so do you have to be a student at the University of Florida, I would assume, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, do y'all just like all load up in cars and drive up to Jacksonville and practice and then play your games that way? How do y'all travel?
Yeah, so it used to look a little bit more like that, where every game we'd kind of just really carpool with people's different cars. But over the past few years, fortunately, the club's been growing a lot and we've been able to upgrade in ways. And so for out-of-state games, we have now consider it a luxury where we get to take a bus there. Sometimes the Gator buses or the Gators are friendly enough to let us use their bus that they use during the season. So we've taken that step for out-of-state games, but still for in-state games and practices, we'll usually just all drive up there together. So it's a different way of traveling and a different way that we're treated rather than, say, the football team where they're taking flights and buses out there.
What days of the week do y'all usually play your games?
We wait till weekends. So unfortunately, the school isn't as willing to give us time off away from classes if we need to make a game or something. So we try to make it as friendly as possible for everyone's schedule. So we'll typically play a Friday night, and then either a Friday with a game on Saturday or Sunday. And it really depends on what's going on that weekend and who we're playing. We like to do a lot of like if say our football team's playing at University of Tennessee, we like to schedule around weekends like that and play our games on the Friday night and the Sunday, and then take off the Saturday and go watch the football game there. So we try to line it up a lot with the schedule and then with the football schedule. And then the same thing with when the football team plays at home. We love to host a lot of their teams as well and host that opposing team. Like Tennessee, for example, would come down and play us that weekend.
Andy's question on Facebook Live is, Connor, what percentage of your team are international players and what countries are they from?
I'd say a low percentage, but we do have a couple from Canada. That would be where our international players do stem from. But yeah, most of the guys are really based out of throughout the US with how many people are wanting to come to UF now, especially with academic reasons. There's a lot of really talented people coming from up north, from northeastern states and also from Canada. So it's been great having not just a group of people from Florida trying to play hockey and having people from all over the country coming down.
Here's a text on the Titan Mark text line from Jonathan. He says, this may be a dumb question, but I've never heard of UF and Georgia having hockey teams. Have y'all ever played on like the Friday night before the largest outdoor cocktail party in Jacksonville?
Of course, yeah. We play them in two different ways. One of them would be in that Friday night before the cocktail party. We haven't done that in a few years, but we would play at either the Community First Igloo in Jacksonville, or sometimes we're hosted at the ViStar Arena there. So we haven't played them in a few years on that Friday night, but we have played them. We'll play them every year at this tournament called the Savannah Classic, and that's this big tournament where they'll invite our school along with Tennessee, Georgia, and Georgia Tech, and we'll have this big rivalry weekend there, and we'll play at the minor league hockey team's arena there, and it draws about 5,000 fans. So it's pretty exciting to get into play there as well.
Yeah, here's a text on the Titan Mark text line. Who all did y'all have to beat to win the national championship last year?
So our national tournament occurred in Philadelphia this year, and so it was a span of 6 games. We played 3 round robin games, and a lot of those were some smaller schools up north. And then afterwards, for our quarterfinal game, after winning those 3 round robin games, we ended up playing against Alabama Huntsville in the quarterfinals. The semifinals, we took on High Point, and then in the finals, we took on FAU. So it was a Florida rivalry or a Florida matchup for that championship game.
Cedric's question on Facebook Live brought to you by Mel Law. Connor, do y'all get NIL money in infinitives? Y'all don't get any NIL, right?
No, we haven't taken on many NIL sponsors, but if anyone's willing to offer some up, I'm sure the guys would be more than willing to accept that.
So let me ask you this. You talked about traveling on buses now. Obviously, hockey is very similar to football. The equipment is not cheap. You got to wear a bunch of stuff. You got jerseys, you got all that stuff. Do y'all fundraise? What do y'all do? How do y'all provide for the uniforms and all that stuff?
Yeah, so the biggest way that we're able to fund a lot of this stuff is from fundraisers, fortunately. Being that we do have that goodwill of UF behind our name, we do have a couple different fundraising methods we like to use, especially being jersey sales is our biggest one. And so with such a cool design that we've been able to continue to make and continue to create new ones, that's definitely been our biggest fundraisers. But we also have a handful of other different ways that we like to fundraise, whether it's through alumni sponsoring us and donations, or if companies want to sponsor us. There's a whole different handful of ways that we like to make money. But it is partially student funded, and so students aren't bearing the majority of the cost. However, they do have to contribute a little bit in order to play and compete. But as the team's grown these past few years, it's definitely changed where it's becoming more and more funded from external sources. And And one day the goal would be to completely eliminate having players have to pay any money to play.
Yeah. Sharon says here on the Titan No More text line, Connor, where are you from and how did you get into hockey?
I'm from St. Louis, Missouri. I moved to Sarasota when I was 8 years old, but hockey's always been a huge part of my life and my family as well. And so to give background, I've had my family really was very involved within it, especially the broadcasting side. And so I guess having my grandfather was a broadcaster and he moved the family from Canada to St. Louis in the 60s and accepted an announcing job there. And then my uncle is also an announcer. And so we've always been big in the hockey community. And so it was really just kind of assumed that I would always play hockey, and my parents were very supportive of it and helped it along. So I started playing when I grew up in St. Louis, and then fortunately they had a rink in Sarasota or in Ellington that I would grow up playing at, and from there I just kept going. And when I got to UF, I found out they had a team and kept playing there.
So Michael's question on YouTube, brought to you by Quality Plumbing, says, are there any plans in the works to make hockey officially an SEC sport, not just a club sport? Well, you got to get into the whole Title IX issues, but correct me if I'm wrong. Y'all now have a female UF hockey team, right?
Yeah, so this is going to be the first year where we've had a female team, and then we also have a second team as well. So we have two men's teams and a women's team. So it's definitely grown, especially with having all these other schools in the SEC having teams, and most of them now even having women's teams. It's definitely becoming a very popular thing for these schools to have. However, I think we're years away from having a formal NCAA league with SEC teams competing in it. There's a couple different barriers, like you said, and then also these ice rinks are so expensive to build, and some schools already do have them. Like University of Georgia just put one up, but other schools like our team, for example, is already traveling to Jacksonville just to get some ice time for practice. So there's definitely some challenges that need to be overcome, but I think down the line, it's definitely a real possibility with how much interest is going on for hockey and how much talent's really down here now.
And you said this is student run. So do you have like a coach?
Yeah, so it's student run, but we, however, do employ and have other people working along with the group. And so our coaches are based out of Jacksonville. We have three coaches for our top team and then another couple coaches for our lower team as well. And so we still do have people working with the group, but it is the students that are making these decisions ultimately. And so when I first got here, it looked a little bit different. But now we have a whole handful of interns running most parts of our club, such as broadcasting games, photographing games, videography, writing news stories and articles, following the team around, and really just covering us in all different ways. And sometimes we have student interns do it, other times we have adults doing it as well. And so couple different ways that we make it all happen still.
Billy said, ask here on YouTube. No, I'm sorry. This is my Titan No More text line. He says, how many fights break out when y'all play Georgia?
Yeah, it's definitely happened before. They do have some stricter rules against fighting in our league rather than the NHL. In college, there's some pretty strict penalties for fighting, unfortunately, leading to suspensions and whatnot. So we try to stay away from it, but sometimes the emotions get the best of people, and especially against teams like Georgia, and it does happen.
Andy wants to know, Connor, are there any major rule differences between club hockey and the NHL?
There are some minor differences. I'd say the overall game itself is pretty similar from a rule standpoint as the NHL. The club hockey follows the NCAA rules, though, and so to talk about some differences between those two, I guess the biggest things would probably be that fighting rule that I just mentioned. In NHL, it's a 5-minute penalty and you get to come back, whereas in college, it's you get thrown out of the game and possibly more games. And then additionally, there's some strict rules about the face mask you wear. So in the NHL, you'll see guys either wearing no face mask at all or having basically like it's almost like it's called a visor, and it's just like kind of halfway down your face. Whereas in college hockey, you're required to wear either a full cage or a full visor that goes all the way down. And so that would probably be the main differences. But from a rule and playing standpoint, it's all pretty similar.
All right, we got a lot of people asking how they can get more information on the hockey team. The Twitter account is at UF Hockey. Y'all have a website as well. We got people here wanting to buy visors and hats and sweaters. Let everybody know how they can do all that.
Yeah, so we're on all the different social medias. Look us up on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all those, and you can find us at UF Hockey. And then additionally, we do have a website, which is where we will list all of our items we have for sale. We currently don't have anything up for sale. However, we will be posting stuff throughout the season, but it does sell out like what we've experienced now. We had a huge sale after winning nationals, and so we made big nationals merchandise, and it fortunately all sold out. But for you, that means we got nothing in store right now. However, in the next few weeks, there definitely will be some stuff listed. So I'd keep your eye out for some different merchandise and especially some jerseys. All that stuff makes a great wear for any game day, football, basketball, whatever you want, wear it to. You see all kinds of people wearing this stuff around now. So a lot of cool designs. So nothing on there right now, but I'd follow the social media so you can see when we do our drops, and then I'd just hop on it quick before it sells out like it has.
Okay, I'm laughing for this question that just came in on YouTube, brought to you by Quality Plum. Mark says, do y'all have a team doctor, or do you just wait till the game is over and take the guy to the hospital?
Yeah, well, it helps that our assistant coach is a doctor. So we do have at most teams we play at, it is required now to have a physical therapist there or doctor there to treat you. But in the past, it did look a little bit like that, where it was kind of you get hurt and take them to the hospital. But nowadays it is more common to have doctors and whatnot around to take care of anyone.
David says y'all's website has no jerseys or hats available. Well, they sold it all, David. They were the national champs. It's all gone. So Dan says Sean Kelly wore one of the jerseys during a basketball broadcast. I did see that. They're very cool, no doubt about it. Well, Connor, we appreciate you joining us. Anything else you want to that I didn't ask that you want to let everybody know about UF hockey? I think it's very intriguing to me because a lot of people don't know that the University of Florida has a hockey team.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you having me. I guess I would just encourage you guys to look up some of the social media accounts we have and follow them so you can keep along with when we have games, especially if you're going to away football games or even home football games. You'll probably get a chance to watch the Gators hockey team go. And I know that there's been a lot of exciting times watching our team participate, even though it's not an NCAA sport, it's still highly competitive, and we have some really exciting matchups that we have for the upcoming season. And so although I won't be playing, I graduated now, it's very exciting to watch. So I would just encourage people to start taking an interest for it because it's really grown a lot in these past few years.
Yeah, I don't have the schedule in front of me, but the Gators only actually get on a plane 3 times this year. We go to Texas, I think we go to Tennessee, and Mississippi State. Will y'all be playing, say, that Friday in Knoxville?
Yeah, we'll be in Knoxville on the Friday and
Okay.
then again on the Sunday.
So y'all play 2 games when you go.
Yeah, we'll play the Friday and Sunday, and then Saturday take the day off to support
Go
the
to the football game.
Exactly.
You can't really have a really good time, or do y'all have a really good time at the game since you have a game the next day?
Depends on the player, I guess. I think most guys like to be smart about how they handle their game days, but it's on each person how they want to enjoy the Knoxville or whatever city we're at.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Connor, appreciate it, my friend. Good luck to the team this year, and we appreciate your time.
Appreciate you having me, Shane. Thank you.
Yeah, that's Connor Nicholson, former team captain of the national champs at the University of Florida Hockey Club. Pretty cool stuff, man. So I don't know, those kind of things are very intriguing to me because these guys have to do it all. They have to travel all the way to Jacksonville just to practice. And of course, Dan put on here, of course, Georgia built an ice hockey rink for their team. We need to build one here. I don't see it happening, but I think Gainesville may need one. There's a lot of kids here that like to play hockey. Dan asked, do they give you tickets for those road games? I don't think they don't get tickets for the football. I mean, I think they have to buy the student tickets for sure. Live a healthier lifestyle with our bold, flavorful smoothies and our amazing food. Tropical smoothie. When you eat better, you feel better. Don't forget, if you're in town, hopefully you'll be going to Spurrier's Gridiron Grill tonight for their third year anniversary. Should be a great night. Yeah, Jamari Lyons, I guess the official announcement will probably come today if Billy Napier toss it. It doesn't look good. You hate that for a kid who's busted his tail, and it doesn't matter what team you root for. These guys put a lot of time and effort in, and just bam, one play, and you're done. So we're getting close, folks. Getting close to the Miami Hurricane game. Should be a lot of fun for sure. Let me get a couple of texts here before we get out of here on the Titan MR text line. George says, Shane, can you give us your thoughts on what you saw at the scrimmage? As I said, I wasn't there the whole time because they kind of drag on. They do so many different situational stuff. Like I said, I think both sides of the ball had some good moments. It's one of those deals where, if the offensive line, let's just say we're running the football down our defense's throat, that's concerning. And then if you're getting sacked every play, that's concerning. I don't think either one of those happened when I was watching. I think there were good plays by both sides of the ball. Like I said, Graham Mertz didn't participate a whole lot. They gave DJ a lot of work, and he did some good things, and he did some freshman type things that you would expect. But I still really like the additions that they have made at certain positions. I think we're going to be okay at wide receiver. I would not worry about that. I know a lot of people are concerned about the offensive line. You won't know anything about the offensive line until you play somebody else. And here's the thing: you may play great against Miami, and then the following week you may not play very well. I don't know. You can't tell a whole lot from a scrimmage. Again, like I said, it's not like this is the set ones against the set twos. They mix and match so many different people to get them reps. It's hard to tell who's going to be in that starting unit. But I still believe Montrell Johnson will play against Miami. That's just my opinion. And I don't know if I'll be right or wrong, but who knows? I don't know what his question is here. Let's see. I really liked Tom Mark's question about the team doctor. That cracked me up. Jimmy says, Shane, up in arms about UF commercial during the Jags game. Never saw Shane so emotional. I don't understand it. And like I said, those people are a lot smarter than I am, but this had nothing to do to UF health. Had nothing to do with the UF health deal that we have there. But maybe it's a good deal and it'll all work out for whatever we're trying to get worked out. I don't know what that is. But what do I know? Comfort Temp Heating and Air is looking for an enthusiastic, motivated comfort specialist to join our team. $1,000 sign-on bonus after 90 days. Awesome benefits and the opportunity to grow with a winning team. Apply today at comforttemp.com. Comfort Temp Heating and Air. Comfort is our business. Peace of mind is our promise. All right. Dan says, QB, are you going to catch one of those road hockey games on the Friday before? You know what? Now that I know they play there, the only game that I would get to be able to see would be the Tennessee game. And I guess it depends on what time the game is and what time we arrive in Knoxville. But I may have to try that. I think that's pretty cool. I do think they need I didn't realize they played. I think what they need to do is at the ViStar Arena there in Jacksonville. I know baseball plays Georgia. I can't remember what time. It's usually around 6 or 7. They have a little concert in the outfield. Maybe they need to have the hockey game maybe an hour or two before. I think that would be great. I think that'd be really good. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed today's program. Appreciate JC and Connor Nicholson from UF Hockey Club joining us on the Titan MR Hotline. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow. Take care.